Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Tonight's matchup features two quarterbacks who will be trying to lead their team to victory. It's Ryan's Falcons going up against Foles' Eagles.
Okay, Larry, thank you. We are just off I-95 at the home of the Eagles, Lincoln Financial Field on the south side of Philadelphia. Just a short time ago, these Philly fans in full roar as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. Pyrotechnics ablaze. They're set to go as their Eagles will match up with Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Again with Ajayi. Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. He loses 5 full yards to bring up 4th.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on 3rd down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it. Stuffed him for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll... And the play clock's running down on 2nd down. Freeman. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the 2nd and the 3rd levels. You know, get to linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10. Time running out here on the play clock. Now Ryan. And finding the tight end Hooper. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Ryan. Finding Gabriel complete. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. The 21 yards there as they convert on third. From the red zone now, here's Ryan on first down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Vinny Curry. He's the one who finally gets him down for what will wind up being a loss of 16 yards. On second down, Ryan. He's airing it out for Sanu. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. Behind the chains, tried to get it all back in one play, and it backfired.
Didn't it feel like a pitcher working his way into a 3-0 count, right? You're behind. What do your coaches always tell you? Get it back one pitch at a time. In this case, they tried to get it back right away, and it didn't work out.
Here's a handoff to Ajayi to begin the drive. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Foles. He finds Ajayi. They'll give him a yard on the play, and all of a sudden here it's 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Here's Foles. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Call it a gain of 3. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And it is incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And that will force a turnover on downs. Before the offense changes hands here, let's look back to the Super Bowl February 5th. What a game. I know you were there calling it offensively, though. Impressive on both sides.
It certainly was, and let's face it, if you're in Minnesota, it's cold outside, but you talk about the offenses, they heated up in a big way. And how about Nick Foles? The backup quarterback turned MVP, 373 yards, 3 touchdowns, and, of course, the big one receiving on the Philly special.
Quite a story. As you and I were talking about off air, it was just a fluid game, not a lot of penalties, just really clean play.
Exactly the type of game the NFL needed for the audiences at home watching the game and, of course, people in attendance. A really well-played game.
On 3rd down, Ryan. Flush to his right. And this one is incomplete. So 1:56 to play in this first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. And a tough ask here. They're going to go for it on 4th down and 9. They'll try and throw for it with Ryan. A hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. Dan Quinn's guys unable to come through there on 4th down. And the Eagles defense able to hold. Eagles will take over here in just a second on offense. And Charles, as you look back to the Super Bowl title run that they just had, what were some of the moves that made that possible?
I'll keep it on the offensive side of the ball because I thought their front office did a fantastic job of having answers in case things happen. Carson Wentz goes out, well, they had signed Nick Foles to back him up. That worked out pretty well. Getting Alshon Jeffrey as a weapon outside to help them in the passing game. Darren Sproles gets hurt at running back. Corey Clement was signed as an undrafted free agent. He filled in well, and they traded for Jay Ajayi. And how about Jason Peters losing the all-world left tackle? And Halapoulivaati Vaitai, who they drafted the year before, filled in quite capably. They had answers for everything they needed.
Now Foles, eluding the pressure right. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And he's got the first down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. Now a play fake here on 1st down. An incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Now that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there because trying it is one thing. We can second guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize it is broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
Now look at this, 4th and 12, and they're going to line up to go for it. They'll try and throw for it here. Rolling to his right. Airing it out deep for Smith. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Falcons will take control of the football in great field position. Falcons taking over on offense in just a second. And, you know, this year ended in disappointing fashion now. Last year was the ultimate version of heartbreak. But if you're a Falcon fan, was this one was tough to swallow as well, wasn't it?
It certainly was because, let's be honest about it. Losing in the Super Bowl, I don't care how you lose, you were in the Super Bowl. You were playing for it all. This team was supposed to be as good or better. Ultimately ended up 10-6, found their way in the playoffs, but didn't get the deep run as they had the year before. So you're exactly right. For Falcons fans, that's a tough one. But this is a team that's built to be good for a long time.
Being chased out left. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
From the gun on 3rd down, Ryan. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And he's closing stages of the first half. And before the possession switches here, I had written down that I wanted to talk about some of the awards this past season in the NFL. We know Brady was the MVP, but Todd Gurley, Offensive Player of the Year.
How about that for a bounce back? Many were questioning whether he'd had a sophomore slump the season before. Didn't even get to 1,000 yards. Was a dominant force in 2017. How about his teammate Aaron Donald on the defensive side? He took home Defensive Player of the Year award.
Yeah, very impressive. They had both sides of the ball. Sean McVay deserving, I think you would agree, of Coach of the Year.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what he did for the Rams when they went from last in the league in scoring to leading the league in scoring and winning a division title. And how about the New Orleans
Saints. Rookie of the Year, offense and defense. Alvin Kamara on offense, Marshawn Lattimore on defense.
And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. They'll throw now on the final play. They set up the screen to Ajayi. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. And actually, Larry, hold that thought. We're right back to the action. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. There are 0 points on the scoreboard for either side. It'll be interesting to see what adjustments were made. The defenses have obviously been great.
So if you like defense, this is a classic game. This is what you're looking for. But now you're trying to figure out how to gain any type of an advantage on offense. Is it through a big chunk play that they haven't seen before? Or is it just running your regular offense and running it better, trying to create an opportunity?
We'll see which avenue they choose to go down. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. Now Ryan on 2nd down. He goes underneath to Freeman. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but closed there quickly at the end. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
A good pickup there of 20 yards. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. His throw caught right around the 6. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10.
And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Devontae Freeman taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Falcons are in for 6. Well, these two teams battled through a scoreless first half. Finally, a breakthrough here in quarter number 3.
And I just wonder how that played for both of them psychologically, because when you battle through a scoreless first half, now you know that every possession is increasingly crucial. Who can put points on the board, make the other team chase? Wonder if you get a lift and if they get deflated a little bit.
And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for him.
Ajayi hit. He lost the football. And the Falcons grab it. And down inside the red zone at the 19-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Swings it out to the flat for Freeman. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down. So now it's 1st and goal. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. And welcome back. We are in the city of Brotherly Love. First and goal here from the 9. They'll run here with Freeman. And finding room to work, he's down to the 2-yard line. It's a good pickup of 7 yards, and now they're looking at second and goal.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or cop. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Austin Hooper, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Falcons use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. And he's got it up and through. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You'd better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
On play action, they'll throw. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Ryan. He hits his target. It's the tight end, Toilolo. And heavy contact. He is knocked down hard, right around the 31.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. On first down, Ryan. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. They'll look to run with Freeman. And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. Devontae Freeman, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Falcons will extend their lead. Here's Bosher to kick it away. On the return, it's Kenyon Barner. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, Coach, what do you want to call? He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. 12 yards there as they move the chains. They'll look to throw now on first down. And the return will stop right around the